Next up, we have Willem Middelkoop. He's going to be giving the closing keynote, and we're going to go seamlessly or move seamlessly into the awards ceremony as well. Willem's going to start off with a discussion or his views on discovery investing, how he started in this industry. He's also going to talk about his biggest wins, but also some of his failures. I've seen the slides. I hope you don't hold back, Willem. I've seen the slides. It's going to be fantastic, and please stick around. Again, as I said, we will move into the awards ceremony right after. So thank you so much, Willem.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. I think we should start by thanking Kai and give him a big hand, because he really organized a great event. And I remember the first time I was invited to speak in Frankfurt some years ago, and there was a resource conference organized by Terrapin. You might have been there, and there were 5 people in the room and 4 were presenters. And even the 5th guy who entered, he was a professor in digital assets, so he came to talk about Bitcoin. So I learned a bit, quite a bit. And that always shows us, I never mind when the audience is small, because you can learn a lot from a few people, and you get a very special atmosphere when it's such a small crowd. But you organized it very well. There's a big crowd, so thanks for that. Amazing event, and thanks for helping organize the Discovery Award show. The Discovery Award is in that box, because the winner needs to fly home, and otherwise it would break. So we'll show it. Well, where are we? Oh, the presentation is here. Yeah. This is actually the first presentation I make in a very long time about discovery investing only. So it's not about the macro situation. It's not about Bitcoin. It's not about the markets, but I want to give a more personal account how I started to be active in my big love, discovery investing. And in early 2005, I was a stock market commentator by day and a discovery investor by night. I wasn't allowed to discuss that on national television, so nobody knew, but I was always looking into the next big drill hole. And since I didn't have much experience, less than 12 months, I decided to start a newsletter. And the only thing I did was telling the investment audience, international investment audience, about great drill results, drill holes, great drill projects. I asked $150 per year. I had over 1,000 subscribers in 30 countries. So I thought I was smart. But then I met a banker friend. He said, "You're stupid. You should stop that and build a fund around it." Especially since I had a lot of beginner's luck. I tipped Aurelian resources. You see them, Arup, on top of our best tips. It was up 1,700% in November 2005 because they discovered Frutal del Norte. And I tipped it 6 weeks before the discovery, so it shows my talents in this world. It was really beginner's luck, but the project intrigued me, and I bought 10,000 shares myself for 30 cents, and I kept them till the end. And that's why I have to work on Saturdays now. So this was a great run. This was up 4,000% in 18 months, and I enjoyed that so much. I thought I should do that full time. So I quit my job with Dutch National TV, and I started to do this full time. Kinross acquired Aurelian resources for 1.2 billion in the depth of the 2008 financial crisis. And this learned me a few lessons. I don't mind how bad management is. I'm not looking at anybody particular. I don't mind, if there's financial crisis, when the discovery is good enough, important enough, it will always be bought out. You can change management, you can't change the project. And Frutal del Norte, we had to wait, 13 years? It's a mine now. So it's one of the very few projects where I've been
there with the start, and it's producing now. And it's a wonderful property owned by Lundin family, also involved with the Philo project. I love to talk about the art of discovery investing. I think this is the best quote. If you're lucky enough to buy into an exploration company that makes a discovery, you can effectively buy your own auto teller machine, ATM. Some of these are incredibly profitable, and we all know the examples. But I think the best example is Arequipa Gold. I wasn't involved with that one. I was too young at that time. That was a big gold discovery in Peru in '96. And it was bought out also for, I think, for $1 billion after 7 drill holes. 7 drill holes. So when the discovery is significant enough, people will always watch it. We all know we have to spend our money, especially in the discovery phase of the mine cycle, but we also play the starting producers. So we build a fund. Based in the Netherlands. And I discovered over the last 10 to 15 years that there are very few real professional full-time discovery investors worldwide. Of course, we have Robert Friedland, the Lundin family, Warren Irwin, Eric Sprott, who's getting less and less active now. But although he already made a few billions, he can't stop playing the game. That's how much fun it is. And of course, Crescott entered the game recently with Gold 3000 and Laurel Resources. That's some of our peers. Most of them are small funds, sub 100 million. Only Crescott, I think, is above 100 million. We're around 150 million now. So imagine what will happen. These funds combined have less than 1 billion to spend. So the total discovery space, the professional investors in the discovery investing space have less than 1 billion to spend. So that's pocket change, because look at how much money is being, not being made, but these are the numbers of the total physical, trading in the physical metal, yearly trading. So these are huge numbers. Many people always say when you invest in exploration stocks, you have to be lucky. Even Tavi spoke about lottery tickets. We never buy lottery tickets. We only buy shares in exploration companies who have shown they have made a discovery already. There must have been at least a discovery hole. So I don't like to speak about lottery tickets. And of course, we all need a bit of luck. But I think this is a great quote. I believe in luck. The harder I try, the more lucky I get. And that's also our experience. So what's our strategy? It's very simple. Anybody could do this if you work hard enough. Find the 100 most significant discoveries worldwide. Tier 1, Tier 2, potential. If you do that, you'll increase your odds. Normally you have 1 in 1,000 chance that your project will become a mine. The way we invest, we have a 1 in 3 chance that the companies we invest in will be taken over by a major looking for reserves to build a mine. And we've had 75 buyouts since 2008. On average, 6 a year in good and bad times. And the game we play is the revaluation. Pre-discovery companies are valued some sub 5 million. We had a great discovery hole 2 weeks ago by a company. They were valued at 3 million. And then after they have this discovery hole, they increase the value to 20 to 50 million. When it's significant discovery, it grows to over 100 million. And then the tier 1 and tier 2 status will bring them to $1 billion or even a few $1 billion. But how many tier 1 discoveries have been made? This is a study between 2008 and 2017. Only 15 tier 1 discoveries worldwide. But if you add the tier 2 discoveries, you will learn that there's between 5 and 10 real significant discoveries every year. So if you're able to identify all of them, you should add between 5 and 10 new investments every year. And that's what we do. And how do we finance that? Well, we've seen net inflows every year. We've seen net inflows every month, even this year. So we always have new money coming in. But our exit strategy is very simple. When people ask us, what's your exit strategy? Wait for the buyout. And we have the same results when there's a bull market, when there's a bear market, because the industry need to replenish their reserves, and good discoveries will always be bought out. And we were very inexperienced around 2010. We're very experienced now, but even that success rate stayed the same. So it shows if you stick to the best discoveries, you'll do well. And that's the big difference in our strategy and Crescrat's strategy. We love these guys, especially because they give all their research for free on Friday nights on YouTube. Saves us a lot of money. But they make a few mistakes, in my humble opinion. They ignore Australia, and they like lottery tickets. And the selection of their investments are made by geologists, and that's the big risk. But we love Quinten, eh? Don't get me wrong. Is Tavi here? Okay, we can discuss this. Eh? Can hire me as a consultant. Even this year, the year's not finished yet. We've seen 6 takeovers. Well, the last one, Cornerstone, hasn't been materialized yet, but there's an offer on the table by SolGold. And what happened? SolGold went down last week, and Cornerstone went up. So I think the market thinks there might be another company making a bid for Cornerstone, because if you have Cornerstone, you can control the Cascabel discovery. So that's interesting. So that's my tip today: buy some Cornerstone on Monday, if they're not halted. The full list of all of our discovery can be found on our website, where you can also download the Big Reset for free, by the way. We also have this map on our website, and it shows the exact location of all the 75 projects and companies which have been bought out in the last 13 years. You can click the pins and get all the information. And we've seen some amazing gains in our portfolio. In 2020, which was a recovery year, well, 2020 started real bad with the Corona crash. But then you had April, we were up 40% in April alone. We had 5 months of double-digit returns. The grey mining, wonderful gold discovery in Australia, up 1900%. Greatland Gold, other great gold discovery in Australia, up 1840%. Actually, we didn't lose money since we started in 2008, while the TSXV, the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture Index, is still down 70%. So you can make a difference by being an active portfolio manager. 4 out of the 13 years, oh, that's a Dutch word, year. I made this 5 a.m. this morning, so sorry for that. 4 out of the 13 years, we had gross returns of over 70%. And actually, I was stupid enough to start a commodity fund at the top of the last commodity cycle in 2008. Imagine what happens when we get into a bull market one day. Wouldn't that be fun? Having invested 150 million at the bottom, around the bottom of the commodity markets, and then enjoying a bull market, then we can go up a lot. With this strategy, we go down less in bear markets. The TSXV is down 38% this year. We're down 24% year to date. And we go up much more and much faster in bull markets. In 2008, Bloomberg had this list. We were number 9 out of 10,000 mutual funds, all strategies. So discovery investing, we love discovery investing. We work from a very old heritage building in the Netherlands, 50 minutes from Schiphol Airport. We've grown our team quite a bit. since our fund has grown in size, especially the last few years. You can find all these names on our website. A few of these guys are even in this room. We use a lot of research. We do a lot of research. I think half of our staff is around 12, 13 people now, half of our staff is full-time engaged in research. We have Samson Lee, who used to be a very successful private investor based in Hong Kong. He's covering Australian markets for us. We have Martin Katzberg, many of you might be familiar with him. He's also a successful retail investor. So we cover the markets 24/7. So how not to miss a major discovery? It's not for the lazy investors, because you have to watch a lot. You have to watch the intraday moves in price and volume. You have to watch the press releases 24/7. You have to watch insider trading, read tons of research. Spend a lot on newsletters, although they are highly, biased. And but at the most newsletters I know, at least, have one good discovery a year, one good analysis a year. Great Bear Resources is a great example. We missed it in the first part, but few newsletters take tips about Great Bear Resources. So, and never forget, I already told that even bad management can get lucky. So take everybody serious, even if, in conferences like this. Risk management is key in the mining, as we all know. And we had some failed investments. And everybody is always more interested in my failures than my winners. Novo Resources comes to mind. But I have to give Quinten credit, because I never spent so many hours studying a discovery as I did with their nugget project in Karata area in Northwest Australia. I even visited it 2 times. And it's remarkable. You find these melon seed nuggets hidden in the rocks. It's a very rare gold project. And the Grey Mining, who's 130 kilometers east, finds the same nuggets in the conglomerates. And then you travel east more, 200 kilometers more. You find the same nuggets in the same geological parts of this crust. And in this chart, I think this was made by Quinten. You see all the plots, all the red plots showing all the nuggets in an area. It's over 300 kilometer wide, 150 kilometer wide. And if you compare that to the large discoveries in South Africa, you see the same kind of system, same size. and I still understand why Quinten Hanning calls this one of the largest gold discoveries worldwide. But until now, nobody was able to crack the code how you can mine this on a profit. And Quinten had to close down his operation in Beaton's Creek. Another failure, we owned 23 million shares in Chalice Gold but sold them all a few months before the PGE discovery in Australia, because we bought the shares because they had a large land package in this region, and we waited for quite some time, and then didn't materialize. We sold them all, and then they made the new PGE discovery. So we're not lucky every time. The world doesn't see enough new discoveries, mineral discoveries. Like the CEO stated, the world needs 85 million ounces every year. We only discover half. We need to find a new Escondida every 15 months, because the amount of copper needed in the next 26 years is the same amount of copper we have used in the last 100 years because of the Green Revolution. The US Mint has announced that there's a global silver shortage. Take advantage, because you can buy silver sub $20. That's an amazing low price. Tesla warns about upcoming shortages for battery materials like nickel, copper, and lithium. Even start to make investments into exploration companies like Talon Metals. And the head of commodities research of Goldman Sachs said, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've never seen markets like this. We're out of everything. So I think the bull market is about to arrive. I think we turned the corner. We've seen the bottom early 2016. We saw a retest of the bottom early 2020. And we're in the very first phase of a new bull market because we reached a perfect storm as commodity investors. There's the superinflation. We have the bond crash of 2022. Bonds are down 25%. This is supposed to happen. You have the crypto crash now. Crypto took away a lot of the shine of gold and silver in the last few years. And I think this is the crypto's Lehman moment. But buy some Bitcoin at the bottom. We have these geopolitical tensions. We have the decoupling between the West and China. China and the US both talking about a possible confrontation between two major powers. And we have the shortages and the securities of supply issues. Especially after 2025, the metal shortages will be mainstream news, I think. So now we end the last part of this presentation. So Terence can make himself ready because he has a job to do as chair of the jury. I love this chart by Incrementum. And it shows in 2020, late 2020, we reached a 100-year low in the valuation of commodities in relation to the Dow Jones. 100-year low. So we only turned the corner, and there's more to come. Back to our fund, we've seen incredible growth. We've had net inflow every year. So these are not our returns, guys. This is the growth of the funds. This is the number of investors. Yeah, you thought it was the returns, yeah? Next few years. We have 2,000 individual investors now. Minimum investment is 50,000 euros. We're open to all investors. You can all join. We've seen an incredible growth since 2020. I think the start of the extreme money printing after the corona crisis hit has woken up a lot of retail investors, especially since the inflation picked up. We're very fortunate that we've grown our assets under management. We started with 3-4 million in 2008. Then you had the corona crash and then the recovery in 2009, 2010. We jumped to 60 million. This is euros. Then the incredible long bear market. Fortunately, we survived that pretty well. I was able to buy out my co-founders, which always good when you can do that at the bottom. And now we're up nicely. We try to be active in the mining space, in the exploration space. So I've been organizing discovery days for the last few years. We decided to design our own discovery award. We had a few exceptional winners in the last few years. 2020, Adriatic Metals. Last year, Greatland Gold. Greatland Gold is an Australian gold discovery. We take Australia very serious. In the first 10 years, we focused on North America, like everybody here in this room. But the best discoveries be made in Australia. Why? Are they so bright? No. Are they so handsome? No. It's because it's underexplored. And a lot of the systems are under sand cover. Petson area is a great example. These guys of Antipa were smart enough. They had a first mover advantage. They have the best land. And that's why they have 3 great partners. So that's why I proposed to Kai to have Antipa here as well. But now it's time to stop talking.